Hi, long range hunting. Welcome back to our terminal ballistic testing, hunting versus match bullets. Today we are on episode 33 of our terminal ballistic testing, and today we are testing the Norma Tipstrikes. Now, disclaimer, I did not have meat and hide on this. I've had a few bullets with that. I did a batch of bullets that I tested. I normally do real untanned hide in front of it. I use meat, and then I do the gel to try to make it as realistic as possible. Sorry, I can't talk today apparently. But there was an incident, so I only did gel on several bullets, this being one of them. But we still wanted to get that done and show the terminal performance of it, and just gel alone is a good media to show that. I just like to go the extra mile and really showcase what is going to happen. Now for today's test, we have the 170 grain Tipstrike. I was firing it out of my 308. Impact velocity was 2,500 feet per second. Now, this is a short-range projectile. I know this is a long-range hunting channel. However, we do all types of hunting, and I do cover short-range stuff because that's what a lot of people do. And this testing is not just to showcase long-range projectiles, but all projectiles. And then you can look at these and say, okay, this is what I want for this application, and be able to choose what works best for you. Now, this is a lead core jacketed projectile with a polymer tip. Now, anybody who watches the channel knows I'm a big polymer tip or tipped bullet guy. It just really aids with the terminal ballistics, and the external ballistics makes it so much more reliable, and just it's really great. I would love to see more bullets end up being tipped, because you alleviate a lot of problems and it gives you an advantage. Now, as most hunting bullets do, this is a thicker tapered jacket. It is non-bonded though. We have a nice cavity, as you can see, inside that for that tip, and it is a flat-based bullet, like I said. So it is not a long-range one. It doesn't have the BC because of that. It doesn't have the boat tail, so it's not going to work well at long range, but it will at short range, which most of the people using this particular projectile or looking to are going to be on the short range side versus the long range side. Those thicker jackets are going to, even though it's not bonded, it's going to raise that minimum impact velocity, limiting your range, and then the fact of the lower BC is going to drain velocity faster also. But let's just dive into it, and then once you watch, we'll talk. Now, as you can see, that actually performed pretty well. Very impressed with it for a hunting style bullet. I know it's tipped, that really does help. 2,500 feet per second impact velocity. You can see you had a nice temporary wound cavity, that transition of energy. It went straight through on those and dumped a lot of good energy into it for the impact velocity. Now, is it up there with the top tier bullets? No. But I would classify this as a good bullet, especially for a hunting projectile. It performed really well. I have the bullet, which is here. You can see it had a nice mushroom, really transferred that energy, had a nice wound cavity. We had a nice permanent wound cavity going through it, traveled straight through the gel, which is what you want. You want that shoulder stabilization, so that way it crushes straight through and doesn't change directions or do funky things in the body. So that's very important. But realistically, is it a long range one? No. And I would not recommend anybody try long range with it. And I've already talked about why. But for a short range, a couple 300 yards, depending on what gun you're using, absolutely. This is a great projectile for that. If you're looking for a typical hunting bullet style, if you're not wanting to go with something better like an ELD match, etc. So as far as bullets go, this wouldn't be middle of the pack, it'd be slightly above middle of the pack. It's not a top tier one, but it's a good bullet. So if you guys are looking to use this on something, it would work really well for all your different stuff, elk, moose, whatever you want to use it for. You do not need a bonded or monolithic bullet for that. You can kill them all day long with even match bullets, as long as you understand that projectile and use it within its capabilities. Now this one, it's a short range bullet. It was designed for that. You know, it's not that aerodynamic, but it hits like a tank. I mean, that's a good energy transfer for what it was for the impact velocity. So again, I'm just going to end it with saying that it's a good projectile. For a short range hunt, it is a good projectile. It's a good option. So if you guys are curious about it, you know, don't hesitate to use it. Just make sure that you keep it within its bullet's capability, its limitations. For this particular projectile, I would not go below 2,000 feet per second as its minimum impact velocity, but as long as you stay inside there, you're going to be doing just fine. It'll take down what you need. It'll give a nice permanent wound cavity. I mean, it mushroomed very beautifully, and it didn't go all the way down, which, you know, if it has too much velocity, it's going to do that. So it had a nice balance of expansion. As you dive down again, it's going to get less and less, but honestly, it's not a bad bullet. So I hope this has been educational. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Up next is the Bond Strike from Norma, which is their bonded bullet, and we'll dive into that next and show you exactly how it did. Everybody, thanks for coming. Be safe. Happy hunting.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notification bell so you won't miss out on any future video. And happy hunting!